Welcome to Real Estate on the Rocks, where you get top shelf real estate conversations served straight up, never watered down. Here's your host, Dave Snowberger.
All right, welcome back to Real Estate on the Rocks. My name's Dave Snowberger. I am joined in the studio today with Marshall Tucker.
Hello.
Is that it?
How you doing today?
All right. And of course, we got the man behind the glass. We got the man behind the glass, James Mendez.
What's going on?
I know why he erased the episode from yesterday. Now I'm thinking about it.
Why is that?
Because we kept calling him Jason.
Ooh.
Oh, that would have been good if it was
Just
planned.
toasted the whole thing because of that.
Oh, wow. All right. Today, we are going to talk about my observation of a few agents that reached out over the past maybe year, maybe 2 years that I've seen on Facebook or other social media outlets that have failed out of the business. I would consider failed. Maybe they don't put it as failed. However, they're doing other things now. They've accepted jobs maybe with other companies or non-real estate companies, and they've gone back to maybe sales, or maybe some are I saw one selling cars, which is a great opportunity, especially here in Austin. Everybody needs a car. So just things like that. And I'm just kind of like, what's standing in the way of this 80% of these agents that fail out? I mean, our whole podcast is predicated on the thought of helping everybody out as much as you can, whether you're a top producer, but we're really geared at the 80% that seems to fall a little bit short of making a career out of this. And we all know, and we say it 1,000 times. I've said it 1,000 times. I've heard it 1,000 times. Real estate is simple. It's not easy. However, the more you prospect, the more you do the things, the more you beat your head against the wall, it becomes easier, right?
Yeah, my new favorite quote, the more I prospect, the luckier I get.
Yeah,
Boom.
there you go. Boom.
Yeah.
And I think that's where a lot of people fall short is they don't prospect. I don't like to make phone calls. I don't like to text people. I don't like to knock on doors. I don't like to do this stuff.
They're stressful conversations.
Yeah.
Got to do something, though.
Can't I just buy Zillow leads?
I just saw a hilarious post on Facebook. I don't know if I tagged you guys in it. And the lady was complaining, like really upset that she's spending a ton of money because she moved into a new city. And she's getting literally I think she got one phone call, but getting nothing back, just complete trash leads. And she's really upset about it. She complained and no one's helping her. And everyone's like, you're buying leads from Zillow. What are you really expecting? I mean, I guess some people have gotten.
I know
some
people that are
success,
killing it. I know people that are killing it with Zillow. I know more people that aren't.
I know.
I know more people where the national average is a negative 32%, 37%, whatever the last one I heard at one of the big conferences is.
And how
negative
much
ROI.
The ones that are winning, how much are they spending though?
Right.
I mean, not new agent budget.
Oh no. No. So that's what I don't think that most people get. They come into this once again predicated on the fact that, or not the fact, the opinion is that this job is very simple. Things are just handed to us. All we got to do is pick up the phone and answer phone calls when people call in, and then we just drive around in Bugattis, smoke cigars, eat caviar, and negotiate deals. I mean, that's how it goes for me. I don't know about you guys.
I wish
Actually, I do know about you guys. Yeah, but
I wish it was like that. I would have been having a much better first year.
Right. Instead, you're driving around in a Mini Cooper eating Jack in the Box.
I've been mobbing out in the Mini Cooper, putting some miles around Austin, Texas.
Hell yeah. And Corpus Christi,
And
Texas.
Corpus, yep.
Yeah, hell yeah. The Mini Cooper's fun, man.
I know.
It's a great company car.
Good advertising.
I know.
There you go.
Every time I try and get some beach photos with the car, it's like pouring down rain.
Yeah. Don't get that thing stuck. Anyway, so, talking about that. So, I mean, what are some other lead generation forms? We know that, I see people all the time. Man, this is one that trips me up. Somebody works pretty hard, right? So they come in the office. I see them all the time. Then they have a small tad bit taste of what we would consider maybe success.
Yeah.
And then they're gone. The funniest thing is I see them, maybe they call for sale by owners or expireds for about a month, and then they get a listing. And the best thing I've seen yet is all the signs up or on Facebook posts on the page that we're a part of.
Yeah.
They say, can somebody work my open house? It's
You do not have that much experience to be offloading that.
it's not maybe experience. It's you don't have that much business to be offloading
leverage,
it. Maybe the
Yeah, that's what I
fact
meant.
maybe
Business,
that
yeah.
you're busy that weekend. You've got something going on with maybe one of your kids. You want to go somewhere else. You've got a vacation plan, something. I certainly get it. However, the norm seems to be these rather new agents that just don't want to do open houses. And so they're trying to leverage it off their plate, getting quote unquote air quotes going on here. New agents, which if you're within 2 years, I hate to smack you down, but you're a new agent. I mean,
The lack of hustle for some people, I don't understand. The fact that they're not jumping out trying to grab any kind of business they can.
It's because they're treating it like a job instead of a career that they're starting.
And someone's like, "Oh, I need somebody to cover phone duty." I volunteered. Someone,
Right.
Can you do an open house? I volunteered. Someone needs to do a lease. I volunteered.
did you say they're treating it like a job? No, I don't think they're treating it like a job. I think they're treating it like a hobby.
Or a hobby, yeah.
Yeah. They're
They're in business for
more
themselves. I mean, they're kind of those people that get the minimum pay and they just do the minimum to keep a job.
they're a hobbyist,
and then they come in here and
Or they did do an open house and they get somebody out of it. And so, like I've told this story in the past, and this person is still my friend. I still very much respect them. However, they hit a home run. Like a month into the business, this person worked an open house and ended up selling that house to the people and selling their house. It all together was right around a $900,000 transaction. Even with splits, that's a fat first commission.
check.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And that person disappeared for about 3-4 months and then came in and was like, I'm broke. Got to get to work. And so started doing it over again and was having the toughest time, but the majority of the time I would see that person working on their logos. I would see them working on their social media sites. I would see them doing those things. And in a sense, those things do need to be done. However, they don't need to be done. They're not direct income producing activities. No. And so they don't need to be done on a daily basis. That can really be done in your free time. If you're going to hang out in the office and work, then do that. Working is not that. You can do that stuff on your own time at your house. When you get free time, maybe if you wake up a little bit earlier in the morning, you can knock that stuff out. This person need to get into action quick. So they asked me, what do we do? And I'm like, well, actually, I have some listings. You can go hold those open, and start doing the open houses again. That's where you had your little taste of success. So do the same things. Don't try to rewrite the story. Go out and do the things that have worked for you in the past. And that was an open house.
Double down on the success.
There you go.
At a minimum. I don't know. I guess I'm still a little bitter from some of the people out of town. When I was going there trying to help out, I was hoping to find like a new agent, someone who was hustling or same kind of mind frame, and got nothing.
nobody.
Crickets.
You talking about that beach town that we go to?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Not even crickets.
Don't get frustrated by that. That's just something we have to deal with. And
Frustrated in like I was hoping that I would find somebody who's eager to succeed, somebody who's like a listener type of person, like the people we're going for would see. Like somebody reaching out like, hey, I need some help. I'll pass you leads. I need somebody I can trust to go do stuff. If you would have called here saying, hey, I need this, man, I would have been.
Oh, this town's hungry.
I would have strapped myself to your car for the day.
Yeah, this town's hungry.
Like I'm going to be your go-to person and you're going to show me through a transaction and I don't have to write anything. Oh, 100%.
However, man, you got a huge platform right in front of you. It's Real Estate on the Rocks podcast. We've got over
if you're in Corpus Christi, email
at least
me.
7 listeners.
Port Aransas, email me. Anywhere around the Corpus Christi area, email me.
I've sent referrals there that don't get answered.
Yeah.
So I have no idea.
We've gone through 3 agents just with one referral that it's a listing referral at $300,000. There's no catch. There's no nothing. It's just pay us the 25% referral fee. All you have to do is call and book the appointment. Can't even get that done. Having a really tough time doing it. So anyway, if anybody hears this, wants to work our stuff out there, I'm kind of, it doesn't have to be the same brokerage we're with. We just want to go get her.
Yep.
We had a trusted source down there. However,
Now I'm the trusted source.
yeah, there you go. James has earned that trusted source. So anyway, sorry to beat the step up on the soapbox there. However, so just kind of that, James, give me some experiences when you really first started out. I still consider you new. Obviously, we've deemed you the new guy. We only get you a mic because that fact is you can bring that perspective of a new person to the table. So tell me a little bit, kind of where'd you miss the mark? Maybe the first 6 months. You didn't. When was your first closed transaction within that first year you were working?
For the actual buy sell was at the end of the year.
So almost 12 months. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah. I closed several leases and was doing a bunch of those. But those don't count.
That's
That's your ramp up.
That's like being the tallest short person in the room.
I know. I was a tall, short person. to the point where people who had questions about leases or the leasing process or anything are all coming to me from the market center. Right. So, I mean, yeah, super tall, short person.
Right.
But that, I mean, because I didn't have a sphere. I didn't know where to call. I didn't have the.
Okay, let's stop this. Advice. Let's give some advice, some actionable advice to now that you've got some transactions under your belt. Now things are cooking for you. Now, I mean, you're out on listing appointments. You know, you've got a couple listings now. You know, and something usually that's not in our model. You know, usually it's the listing agent and buyer's agents under that. Yeah. However, you're stepping out of the traditional model, and I'm pushing you that way to list more homes. What are you doing specifically now that can help a listener out there that's having the tough time cracking the code of just getting one buyer?
Calling people. I mean, well, before that, going to script practice and talking through the conversations to build that type of conversation in my mind.
So knowing what to say.
I know exactly. Now I know what to say when people ask me stuff, because sometimes they just nod their head and don't really ask you much of anything, and sometimes they really hit you with questions, and you got to be able to respond. And because of the training. And the constant work. And I mean, it's obviously not 100%. I'm not here practicing every single day, Monday through Friday. But I try and be here as often as I possibly can and work on that. And then I got I was doing two things. I was going for Zillow to get all my free FSBO lists. That way I'm not coming out of pocket for those things. And I just was working my way through the list, and I was getting a little bit of traction there. And then we got the list of expireds. And then the little challenge from you, and I was like, I got to get something going. It's kind of dry. I can't convert any of these buyers right now. And then I just started going down the list and started talking to people, and I had some great conversations. I had a couple of people that were a little testy. And
so just to clarify, I gave you a list with for sale by owners, withdrawals, and expireds in it. And there was probably I'd say about over 100, 150 in there.
Which you can get from most people for free.
Right.
I mean,
and that'd be a topic
pay for it.
Sidebar. That'd be a topic for a great show, is really kind of like maybe the top 5 lead generation systems that are free to you.
Yeah, that's a good one. Especially starting out, like, because everyone's asking for money. Yeah. So I tried to, work around it and get as much free stuff as possible. But that list, I mean, you can get from it. Somebody has to pay for it, but you can generally get it, especially as a new agent, for free from like productivity coaches, or you can ask another agent to print it off for you. I'm sure they would.
You see, once again, I want to bring light to our audience that not everybody has the same size brokerage we have. So productivity coaches, things like that, a lot of these folks don't have. Yeah. They have maybe a local town broker. They have just kind of a smaller broker. They've never met their broker. They're working maybe at a what's that called, a virtual broker type deal, where they've just got an online whole thing, and they don't have any coaching. There is no accountability. They're just thrown against a wall to stick. They have nowhere to go. Help them out.
Then if you don't have anywhere to go and you don't have an agent to lean on to get that free stuff, you should 100% go to Zillow for FSBOs and start calling down the list. Just start working that one. And then when you're done calling everybody, because you're going to run out before the end of the day.
Okay.
Pick a little area near where you live or where you work out of, and start knocking on some doors and say hi. Don't try and sell the house. Don't try and get them to buy somewhere else. Just start talking to people and just start getting yourself known.
What about open houses?
And open houses. If you can work, you should be working the same area you want to do an open house. Door knock there, because you're going to have to door knock for that anyway.
What if you're with a virtual broker?
It doesn't matter.
I stepped away. What if you're with a virtual broker and you don't know and you don't have any listings yourself because you're new, and then you don't know anybody that has any? Can you reach out to another brokerage maybe?
There's a website that has all of those, every property that's for sale on the MLS, called the MLS. Go in there and find a property in the area you want to work and call that agent. Say, hey, I'm a new agent. I want to do an open house for you. I called agents. I called custom home builders and other agents from different brokerages.
There you go.
Down in another area. And they're like, one guy was like, I never thought about it. I wasn't even going to do one for myself. I was like, perfect. I can do it for you.
There you go. New home builders, custom home builders, home builders sometimes don't even have access to the MLS. Yep. You can strike deals with them. I represent a custom builder. I list all his properties. Yep. I think one of these past years we did about $4 or $5 million worth of transactions just from that, and about $500,000 a piece. And so, we take a little bit of a break on the commission, however, to list so many properties for him at scale. And so it works out. But I got that really from just just beating the pavement and trying to. I kept hearing about people working with custom builders, and so I went out and found a custom builder that would work with me. I went and bothered every custom builder, and if there was a sign out front that said, whatever with, ABC Realty Group, I wouldn't mess with them. But if they had a for sale sign of their own and whatever else, I would track down that builder. I would pick who had the nicest truck out there building, and more than likely that was the foreman or the actual builder. And I would go to him and say, "Hey, cool guy, I'm Dave. What's up?" And so, I would ask them, tell them the benefits.
Exactly like
that. But at the time, that's pretty much how I sounded.
You need to relax and talk to them.
Right.
Not get all nervous, not get worried, but actually approach them and talk to them. I've had a couple open houses from people that I've never met before. Some agents didn't call me back, but I just kept calling around and found somebody that would let me hold their open house. If you work at a bigger box or one other one, walk around the hall and say, "Hey, can I do an open house?" But you have to do an open house. There was a kid who was getting agents were actually going after him to do an open house because he was doing like 50 signs, and actually a couple people questioned him about it, and other agents verified no, I've seen him out there setting up signs. He does about 50 signs out and around the community.
Cool.
Door knocks, and people are chasing him down for it.
Cool. Let's go over to Marshall and just kind of give people tips on maybe a successful open house. So the reason why I'm drilling down on open house and I'm hovering right here is the fact that open house is those people being the buyers are typically ready to buy. 0 to 90 days, you can have yourself a paycheck. Yep. Anything you do that day, like anything I do today, real estate wise, I know I'm about 45 days away from a paycheck. So I know I can work a Saturday. Hopefully by Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, I can get somebody in a contract. And in 40 days, hopefully less, I can have a paycheck in my hand and pay some bills and do some things and make a start of a career out of this. So Marshall, actionable items for new folks. First things you do when you set up your open house?
I guess the very first thing I do is, like James mentioned, I head over to the MLS. I'm going to find a property to hold open if we don't have any listings of our own. Kind of to dig on that, I like to pick someone from our office, and I usually put in there 15, 20 days or less. I want it to be pretty hot still.
Yeah.
I don't want anything to be stale.
Why is that though? Explain that real quick. Sidebar.
A lot of buyers, once they see a high days on the market on there, they kind of figure there's a stigma on the house and, that one's stale bread, and they don't really want to show it as much.
I don't think that's for all markets. However, certainly in Austin, Texas, that's pretty much a standard. So go ahead.
So then what I'll do is I'll put make sure by Tuesday at least that I have that nailed down, and I'll go ahead and enter it into list reports. And what that is, it gives you the demographics and a nice little flyer sheet. Basically, we get that from the lender, and set up. Make sure it's syndicated in the MLS. So in plenty of time.
How do they do that?
If you have an admin like we do, you just tell her to get it in there.
Okay.
If not,
well, no, we're new.
Right. So if not, then you got to reach out to the listing agent and that you set that up with and say, hey, make sure this is in the MLS for me, and then I'll get syndicated out everywhere.
Nice.
Yeah. And so after that, I start running some Facebook ads, maybe do a video on the house, try to drive some attention.
You driving organic Facebook traffic, or are you paying? Because remember, a lot of these folks are new and there's not a lot of money to go around, and even a $10 ad is still $10.
Right. You can do it organically. I mean, that's what I mainly do is organically. I might boost it for $10.
Yeah.
But
I would recommend to agents listening to this, I would go live on the video. You have a better organic reach and say, I have an open house coming up this weekend at 123 Main Street from 2 to 4. I'd love to have you come out, and then really repeat that video every day leading up to that. Boom. Go ahead.
Real quick for the on Facebook, when you're doing your ad or your post about it, if you type in open house, because most people are friends with other agents, you can see anything that's posted about an open house, and then you can copy the text and paste it in there and make obviously the changes to make it accurate to your specific property.
Right.
But I've done that a couple of times where I've seen a bunch of agents post kind of cool ones, like the way they have it kind of laid out in the
plagiarism. You just commit
100%,
plagiarism. Yeah.
100%. Take their stuff, change it around a little bit so it's for your place you're doing an open house for, and then post that in with some nice pictures.
That's what we like to call R&D. Rip off and duplicate. I do it all the time.
They do it too.
Exactly.
Just grab it.
Getting eyes on the property.
All right. So, we're leading up to it now. It's sign day. Do you get out there an hour beforehand, 2 hours? Do you start 10 minutes before the open house? What's going on?
If it's a Saturday, I try to head out there by a Friday evening sometime, and I like to put a sign out in the front yard that just says it's going to be open Saturday from 12 to 3 with my phone number on there.
Okay. So you're getting the people that pass by the house.
Right. And it just depending on the city, I'll go ahead and put the signs out. Some of the cities will take my signs up. So
I wouldn't recommend doing that. Yeah.
Right.
It's pretty strict around here.
Right. Well, there's certain places around. I know where to go. So I just put the signs up the night before. That way I don't have to get to the property super early. I can show up just an hour before.
Right. Sleep until about 10 minutes before.
Yeah. And I'll hightail out of it. I got an open house to go to. Then really just go inside, early. Make sure you set it up. We have that iPad stand that I put a little video out on.
Right.
And get that all ready. I like to put a little music on. If you can, ahead of time, if it's an occupied house, make sure you try to get that internet password so you can put some music on, get your iPad stand running, and just have the computer going. But I like to bring with me a little chair also, and I sit by the window. So sometimes there's no furniture in the house, sometimes there is, but it's never where I can really see people coming because I like to see the cars slow down or whatever they're doing so I can be ready inside. When they come up to the door, and we talked about a little bit yesterday, some of the things that we say, but I like to open the door up for them and say, "Welcome home." And they're kind of like, "Oh, ha, 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 ha."
Creates a little banter.
Right.
You know?
And they come in and I say, "Would you please sign in?" The seller would really like to know who was coming in through their home today. And so while they're signing in, I usually say, "Well, did you see the signs in the neighborhood or did you see me online?" And they're like, "Oh, we saw you online." I go, "Oh, man, I'm just wasting my time out there with those signs, huh?" Or if the other way, I say it the other way around.
Right.
But and just kind of let them, I'll orientate them really quick. Say, "Hey, the garage is over here, kitchen's over here, master bath is over here. Go ahead and take a look around. And if you have any questions, let me know." And I'll kind of let them wander off for a second before I, appear in the hallway or something and give them some more advice or whatever I got to do. But just kind of building that rapport up with them.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, there's some good actionable items, and a lot of you may have tuned out right there. However, we're trying to help some folks out that are kind of dropping out of the business. So that's the explanation behind how to do the open house or some of the actionable tips that we're giving you. So that's really what that was about. So I appreciate it.
Everybody's going to ask for feedback too. So as they're going through and they're about to leave, you give them your business card and you say, "Are you going to put an offer on the house?" "Oh, not at this time." And then you want some feedback. So I say, "Well, hey, look, I'm not the listing agent. That's not my face on the sign in the yard there. So can you please tell me the good, bad, and the ugly?"
Right.
"I really appreciate it." And they'll tell you everything about it. "Oh, you're not the listing agent? Well, I'll tell you this house stinks." And they'll just go down the list and then you got your feedback.
Well, I'm usually the listing agent, so like, now they think I stink.
Nah.
No, I'm just
I
kidding.
hold other houses open as well.
No, those are some great tips that can definitely make for a open house. So, I mean, the whole thing is really just build rapport with them, build a relationship. Just people do business with people who what?
You don't have to hard sell them. Just get them to like you.
Right. That's the biggest thing right there is most people think that this is going to be a hard sale, that we're hardcore salesmen and I've never sold anything in my life. What I've done is built relationships. Right. And so I get people to know, like me, and trust me. If I can get you to know me and like me in the 5 to 10 to 15 minutes you're in an open house, I know that we're going to meet again and I can get you to trust me and we're going to write an offer on either this house or the house coming up. And within 90 days, I'm going to help you meet all your goals. And at the end, I'm going to get a paycheck. That's how it happens.
That's right.
Boom. James, what you got?
No, that's good. I mean, the being able to get out there.
Did I miss anything is what I'm asking.
Mostly nothing. No, that's pretty much it. I mean, as long as you prepare for it, make sure it's posted online, do some of your posts yourself. Put some
There's
good pictures,
one
like the
major
good little
major
pieces.
thing.
What's that?
When you get those leads from the open house, follow up.
Ooh, the fortune is in the follow-up. So that's what they wrote their name down for, or they put their name in their iPad for, or whichever, If you're not certain, if you're using the kind of old-fashioned way
paper.
of you're writing a paper sign-in sheet and you can't read, it's not legible, ask them. They more than likely didn't do it on purpose.
Yeah, people have
Just ask
horrible handwriting.
Is this a 7 or is this say October? Just kind of what's it say? And so they'll usually say, yeah, that's my name. It's Marshall, 2 L's at the end. Like, okay,
Yeah,
cool.
I tell them, hey, I'm going to give you a call if there's a price reduction or something that goes on with this house, and you're going to want to know. So,
Right.
Boom.
And so it's just another opportunity for another conversation to get them to know you, like you, and trust you and do business with you, correct?
Absolutely.
Yep.
Boom. All right, let's go ahead and get out of here for today. So we will be back in the studio Friday morning, I believe.
Yep.
So
Dark and early.
don't forget, Mike Harrell over at Guaranteed Rate. He is our gracious sponsor to the show. He makes it possible for us to do this. Another thing we would love for you to do is visit us over on social media on Facebook or Instagram. Top Shelf Agents is that page. I believe if you're an agent, we're going to have you drop your name in there, and then when you request to come in, we let you in. We would love to see you contribute, ask questions, post things, funny things, serious things, advice, quotes, whatever you want to do. Top Shelf Agents is that place for us to really network and interface with each other and hopefully get some referrals off of each other. 5-star reviews. 5-star reviews can be put in at any podcast player you're listening to. Yep. So look at the 5-star reviews. We really appreciate it. If you've tuned out by now and you're still driving around, go back later on, pull us up, and put a 5-star review in there. I appreciate it. So, for the Top Shelf Agents, we're signing off. I'm Dave Snowberger, Marshall Tucker, and the new guy, James Mendez.
You're gone.